Over, ladies and gentlemen, to get into game number 1 of the evening. Team Pause is only versus Team BAR, and of course Blitz mode is immediately jumping up because hey, I downloaded the Blitz app and it thinks that I'm playing a game even though I'm only spectating one. What is up with that? Nova finished off his finals. Congratulations to him. I heard that he got some pretty darn good grades. In XLNC, we need a game night so we can joust and fight. Oh, well, you'd crush me. I don't know how to do that. I'm actually like a mediocre PvP Minecraft player. I would say I'm terrible, but I'm mediocre. All right.
Okay.
Nidalee,
PvP in Minecraft is a little bit overrated, though.
Well,
it's kind of just run at them and click.
PvP in Minecraft is somewhat overrated, but I've actually watched some pretty high-end players of Minecraft that are, when you get into like drinking potions versus eating food versus swapping between bow and sword and this sort of craziness. I mean, I've seen people that, you know, somebody else pulls out a bow, so he switches to blocks to build himself a wall in front of him to then run around and do. It's crazy what people will get into when it comes to PvP stuff. Mine is run around, avoid getting hit, time their hit to my hit, try to hit the first. Also, welcome Big Log S513. First time.
Mine's drink a potion of invisibility and shoot them with arrows.
Oh, there you go. That's a genius plot. Genius move. Genius move. Watching your boys on BAR. Fantastic. They are going to be on the side of red team, which means that they get that powerhouse of the last pick. I don't know if they're in LCS positioning. Maybe not. We'll find out. Thank you for that follow, Curry King. You didn't have to, but I appreciate that, and I hope to cast with you in the future. This is going to be pretty awesome. Oh, Big Log, you've seen nothing yet. You've seen nothing yet. Upcoming in December 30th, we are going to have an 8-team with a prize pool tournament, and it's going to have the new graphics, the new layout, the new look. Guys, I have spent an insane amount of hours on this thing. An insane amount of hours. But XLNC is going to get a massive overhaul, and it's going to be beautiful. Just you hold on tight. It's going to be great. Excited to see when mostly I'm excited to be able to show everyone so that you all can enjoy it, because I put so much time into this thing. So Nova's already seen a little bit. He's saying it looks hype. Excited about it. Good luck to Pauses Only, says Experiment626. We've got some picks coming through. Sejuani, Thresh, Victor, the Urgot, Elise, and Leona. Elise being a pretty unique one, considering that she hasn't been meta for a while, but with those rune changes and a minuscule buff overall with the, I think, 8.24 patch. She's coming back because of, I believe, the early level 2 aggression. I'm mostly talking right now because you're eating, so I'm kind of feeling it.
No, and the thing is, Elise actually got a pretty strong buff about 2.5 patches ago. There was kind of a mid-patch update as well as a beginning patch update. She got a pretty strong buff. She hasn't come back fully into the meta right now because she's in a good spot. And like you were saying with the early game aggression, especially with good Lord Dark Harvest, somebody just revert it, nerf it, do something else. It's just obscene.
Well, Dark Harvest has been not only nerfed once, but it's been nerfed a second time. It's still decent, but a lot of people have been discussing recently that Electrocute seems to be a bit more the way to go. And the reason why is because most games are actually these days leaning more towards ending about the 25 to 30 minutes being a really long game. Now, I've seen a couple end at the 45, but most games on average are ending closer to that 30-minute mark. And when you have something that stacks progressively over the course of the game, you want the game to run long enough to actually get good benefit from it. And because Dark Harvest has been nerfed fairly heavily, while it still is extremely strong, if you get to that 40-minute mark, it's definitely worth having. It will still do incredible amounts of damage, but if the game ends at the 25-minute mark, you're really not getting good value out of that rune, and so people are going more of the assassin route with the electrocute and taking some other options rather than all leaning towards Dark Harvest, which is understandable. Which is understandable.
And that brings us full circle to why ADC is absolute garbage right now. Oh my Lord, Ryan, what have you done? It's like a meme now. It's the last 3 preseasons in a row. ADC has been absolute trash. Wow, this is really bad. Okay, so basically what's been going on is all of the early game aggression combined with the mid-season overhaul of ADC items last season. What they did is they made ADC spike even later. Rather than 3 items, you now need 4. 3 items is pretty strong, but in order to take over the game, you really kind of need that 4th item to come through for you. So that's an incredible amount of gold. Usually you're hitting 3rd item at 35 minutes, unless you're farming perfectly. So, issue coming through about that one is that if you're hitting the big item point at 35 minutes and the game is ending at 20 to 30 minutes, we have a problem here. Right. So ADCs aren't even relevant when most games are ending. That combined with all of the early game assassin type champions that are really being
Oh, especially that level 2. Like, I've seen so many. I've been watching a lot of streamers. Which, by the way, guys, if you stream League of Legends or you have any streamers that you want to recommend, feel free to whisper them to me on Twitch. Happy to check them out, throw them a follow. I usually have one playing while I'm at work, which is all day during the day. So happy to not only lurk and hang out with you or your friends if they're streaming, but I want to talk about Ashe as being a pretty crucial AD carry pickup because of her utility with that ultimate. Before we get that far, we got to go through the players and their champions for the Stream Team Night, which is our first, hopefully, 3 games of the night is going to be teams. We're still looking for a 6th team to get in, and then if we run a game 4, it will be randoms. Pauses only. We've got Poppy, played by Alicia Evane. Not feeling so uwu, taking the Sejuani in the jungle. Dive with the Victor in the mid lane. Arcane Vixen with the Xayah AD carry role. And Big Time Rush is not new because it's actually Cody J's secret account.
Oh,
he
God.
literally has a Smurf account solely for the one hope that he could get Thresh. And he's on Thresh, baby! So I'm excited to see where this game goes, as passing over to you for Team BAR.
For Team BAR, we've got Experiment 626 on Urgot in the top lane. We've got Mike Oxmal Bros on Elise in the jungle. We've got Demonius the God on Karthus in the mid lane. TWTV Justify on Ashe in the bottom lane ADC role, and Applause, formerly known as Applesauce, on Leona in the bottom lane supportive role.
All right, thank you, Nova, for the 26 bits. We're on a whole bunch of cheers. Pretty darn awesome. So, to Ashe, what I wanted to say is that if your ADC is, in general, going to be trash just when it comes to outputting damage, which is the main thing that ADCs are supposed to do, what you can do is trade them out for someone who brings a bit more of that utility, not only having the slows, but also that ultimate, setting up pick fights and opportunities. It's so good when paired with Leona when it comes to the mid game, because you're running around the map, you're running through the jungle and river, trying to fight around the Baron and the Rift Herald, or try to grab a tower before the enemy team can respond. Having that combination of an across-the-map ultimate from Ashe paired with Leona's ult to be able to secure a engage on the fight, they're looking pretty darn good. But you got a similar thing with Sejuani on the enemy team's jungle side.
Yeah, the engage potential is definitely nice from Ashe. However, the potential of like a mage bot lane, it's like, as much as I hate it, ADC's getting pushed out of the game, but really mage bot lanes are kind of where it's at right now. There's a lot of different diversity that you can put into bot lane. And as always, like you were saying, utility picks are the meta when you end up with ADC being trash. Jhin and Ashe, of course, being the go-tos. Sivir still pretty strong. We've got Lunar Eclipse Leona coming through. Yeah, but Sivir with the spell shield and the utility from her ultimate has also been a predominant pick as well.
SSG Xayah paired with SSW Thresh. Is that not more of an iconic duo than anything you've seen?
That's pretty great, actually.
That is amazing. I got to snapshot that after the game. That is squad goals right there. I love, though, the full Skinergy out of the side of pauses only. Do want to throw another shout out for Nova, dropped another 4 bits. He's ad mining, which is the way to go. And La Tigress, who was at All Stars, she's been pretty darn awesome, but coming and hanging out once again. We only brought 3 referees. You were on stage a lot. Wait, so you were on stage. That was you that I saw then. Okay. I thought I saw you, but I wasn't positive when the games were going on, because I watched a lot of day 1 and day 2, and then I was like, I don't think that Tiggs is at All-Stars, and then I saw you at All-Stars on Twitter and was like, oh, I bet she's having a lot of fun, but I never made the connection of the two. So, dang, Tigers, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, back to the game. Super Galaxy Elise. I have not seen that one in-game, but I recently saw someone pick that skin up, so super excited to see how she does once we are in-game. Intra, not in this game, so it's not going to be his legendary Karthus. Instead, it is Demonis, the God, as well as Justify back once again with that Ashe. Talking about the junglers, though, Sejuani has gank potential pre-level 6, but really it is going to be about trying to farm up to hit that level 6. If I were Elise on the red side, I might consider level 1 going red buff into a level 2 gank top lane, rather than trying to start the traditional blue, then into red, and then make a gank. Because those level 2s are so critical and so good, especially against a Poppy early on. She doesn't have high mobility. She's instead just been looking for farming. If you can burn a flash early, that could be really good for BAR.
Yeah, the thing about Elise is she will have a ton of gank presence early without going for the hyper-aggressive route, which would put her very far behind if the gank doesn't go off. The thing about a level 2 gank is that if the enemy jungler is cognizant and is watching the map, sees you go top, he just instantly clears your top bot side, depending on which side he went for. And then that sets you incredibly far behind. So level 2 gank is very risky to do if you're playing against a competent opponent. Excuse me. But then the Sejuani ganks pre-6 are really just looking around the map and seeing who is overextended. If you can come in behind somebody as Sejuani, she still has incredible gank presence. She has 2 stuns, or a stun and a knockup, pardon, and a slow, as well as an obscene amount of tankiness through her passive. So if she can outflank somebody, really the best engage she has is with her ultimate, like you said. However, she is still a very potent gank presence past level 3. So I'll be looking to see Sejuani farm till 3 and then make her presence known through counter ganks on this Elise, shutting her down, because that would be an especially good way for them to get something done. Wait for Elise to commit spells to a gank and then just turn it on their head.
I also don't have the snow map skin, so give me a second to switch back to that. I was doing some graphics updating. There we go. We're in the beautiful Winter Wonderlands map, which is so pretty, at least to me. I really love this. I was doing some editing, though, on video work the other day, and so I was switching back and forth between a couple things for some video work, which is all for the upcoming redone graphics for XLNC, which I'm excited to show. I don't know, guys, if you want Wraith sliding to be any better, only because he's so beautiful, you'll all be smitten, and you'll all just, you know, do nothing but
I'm covered in coal. Don't believe him.
He's just so beautiful, guys. He's just so beautiful.
What was I going to say? Dang it, I had actually a really insightful and thoughtful point that I was going to bring up. But
and then my rambling interrupted it. All right, well, yes. Lisa is going to be starting the blue side. Traditional starts for both junglers. No early ganking in that bottom lane from the Sejuani. Instead, going to be running straight to her own blue, trying to make sure that Elise doesn't seal it away, as she's fairly good about taking away enemy jungle camps.
In the top lane, we've got Elysian Bane. We haven't seen him in forever, but he's really mechanically gifted. He was on, I think, single dads with...
the flame. Wait, Thresh needs to be going down in the bottom lane. He is forced to flash. The Ignite ticking away, so it is Leona's Ignite going down as Elisa Vayne in the top lane, under pressure from Experience 626, just gunning that Poppy back underneath the turret. A good play to reposition the Zenith Blade from Leona. However, just put her in auto attack range to stun Thresh, and that's that level 2 pressure that Leona can bring.
Leona, Thresh, just a classic bot lane from all the way back in the day. Season 3, that was the meta. Thresh on one side, Leona on the other, all the time. And Ashe with the Leona was actually a pretty good staple from back then as well. Of course, we'll never see Leona Graves again, but that was a powerhouse back. Oh, hold on, we've got an engage. Hook lands.
Nice hook. Might be the Flay to follow up. He Flays waiting for the Leona to dive in. Good timing. Pulls her back so she can't engage onto the Xayah. And instead, so that was a choice from the Thresh not to try to dive in to kill the Ashe. Instead, just burn those potions down and really waited out this Leona. And we're expecting good things out of Big Time Rush because that's actually Cody J. And Thresh is one of his favorite champions to play. He's well known for it. So keep an eye on this guy. He's one that we're expecting to really pop off this game.
Yeah, and that was definitely a good decision by Cody J right there. He recognized the situation. His ADC was at 2/3 health. He himself was at about half health. So if the Leona goes in and gets the stun or the proc bonus from her passive, they do lose that trade, even if he does land the second CC onto Ashe. There was no way that they were going to burst her down all the way and get the kill through heal, as well as the fact that she was practically full health anyway. So good recognizing, so they just take the positive trade and live with it. Hold on, we've got a gank lining up right here. Looks like Elise is waiting in that topside river. And Demonius sitting pretty low on mana right now, but so is Dive. Elise hovering back, but is she seen? No, she hasn't been spotted. But XLNC Dive playing very safe right there. About to tick level 5.
Well, that's weird. He had a ward on in the Pixel Brush on the bottom side, so he was playing to that side as the Thresh is landing up for an engage on the bottom side, brings the Sejuani in with the Dark Passage to justify low. He's got the heal and flashes underneath the turret, but the turret's got massive damage. Not feeling so woo is gonna fall. Ashe gets first blood, and now the Leona may try to re-engage onto Arcane Vixen. Apple applause. I'm so sorry. Does go in for the kill. Gets it. Is the shield gonna be enough? The stun holds to justify to allow more auto attacks, but the Thresh is gonna get his own double kill because Cody J is just too darn good. 2 kills to 2. First and second blood to BAR.
0 mana mage fight, guys. Here we go.
Intensity. This is what you're looking for. Quality entertainment is mages whacking each other with stabs because basically they're both just gonna be doing that in the mid lane.
It's like you're sitting down in some medieval tavern and then you have 2 wizards who are so drunk that they can't cast any magic, so they just start punching each other. But they're all kind of old and gangly and weak and frail, so none of their punches do anything.
One of them's robotic, so unless his robot arm's doing the whacking, it's not going to do that much.
Yeah.
Super Synapse, welcome back to the stream. Glad to have you join us once again. So, in that bottom lane, Ashe was able to get a pretty decent farm lead, and man, something to think about and remember is these turrets do more damage than you're used to. They can take 3 health bars now, rather than the traditional 2, especially early on, as Thresh is going to maybe find a re-engage onto Applause. The play's going to miss. He's in trouble. He's been ignited. Leona's got that right back up, and he is going to go down. Cody falls. Another kill over to the Ashe, who's already doing pretty well so far this game. And Xayah, the only one in that bottom lane who came out with no kills after that early engage. Not feeling so woo, gonna help join the Poppy on the top side, who was able to stun up and hold Urgot in time for the Sejuani stun to come through. Can Experiment 626 make the outplay? I think he's got plenty enough damage, and with that Karthus ultimate coming in, takes out Poppy as well. And now Team VAR turns onto the Ocean Drake. They are getting everything and a half. Feeling really good at this point after being able to pick up another 2 kills and the Ocean, which is that early Ocean Drake, even more bonuses to their team.
Yeah, forgetting about the power of that spell that he was running right there. The Dark Harvest, really strong when it procs off the Karthus. The Karthus ult there, almost a guaranteed execute if he stacks it enough. So that was just the execute damage coming through. He shouldn't have had enough damage, but he had just picked up a blasting wand and just happened to be sitting right there in base, waiting to ult, and gets the kill onto Poppy.
Well, that is so good. Something to keep in mind. I know that a lot of players, including myself, really want to burn our spells before we go back to make the most use of that mana regen while we're sitting on that fountain. But in cases of things like that Karthus, you may want to save those spells because you're going to be having them be more powerful when you pick up your next major item. Now, obviously, it was a minor item, just that blasting wand, but that little AP could have been the difference between a kill and just sending Poppy walking or teleport or recalling back to the fountain. I mean, it's a one-step walk if you're recalling, and kind of a teleport if you think about it that way.
Hold on. We've got a 1v1 in the mid lane.
Oh, they're on opposite sides of the map. The exhaust comes down onto Victor, but his ult is just burning down the Karthus, who is going to find himself being able to escape
and the Elise is coming in.
Cocoon misses. Can't dive escape for this. He tries to finish off the Karthus. The laser's not going to be enough, but with the minions, it does come through. Dive able to pick up the kill. 1-for-1 trade in the mid, and poor Elise actually used the repel and gets nothing out of it. As 626 says, yeah, I'm getting really familiar with this piece of rock in the top lane. He's like, been face slammed into it twice. And he's like, look, all right, we're good friends. We don't need to get to know each other that much better.
Yeah, this matchup kind of turned itself on its head when the Poppy gets some items under her belts and stops caring so much about Urgot's damage. Definitely going to be an interesting 1v1. Poppy's one of those champions that just is way too tanky way too quickly.
And Urgot seems still fairly handling his situation in that top lane. Drops the Ignite, just wants to push her back. She doesn't have Teleport, used it earlier, so she's going to have to walk back to lane if she gets shoved out. However, she is still somewhat healthy up there. The main thing to keep in mind is 626 does have his ultimate, so he could wait for that right time to engage and then use that ult to drag Poppy out from underneath that turret with that execute. And he's getting pretty good chunk damage on this turret as well, picking up gold every time he gets through one of those armor stacks.
Yeah. Urgot's definitely one of those really strong champions right now for the reason that he's ranged in a lane that's dominated by melee champions. That gives him a way to very easily, basically for free, harass the tower and pick up those gold stacks that we were talking about. The early game kind of revolves around these right now. Aggressive lane pushers being rewarded a lot for really pushing into that tower and playing more aggressively, and then you end up getting like an extra kill and a half's worth of gold out of it. Dive on the top side now with calling Sejuani up here. There is a potential for a kill right here. But Dive goes a little too early, and Sejuani's not in range, so they're probably going to leave that alone.
Yeah, in the bottom lane, Leona are engaging. Nice ultimate for Arcane Vixen. Flashes out as well. The double root, the hook for going to miss, though. Good flash from Leona, keeps her alive. Is in the top lane. Dive in trouble, trying to escape from Elise, who repels on into his robotic face. Murders him, finishes him off. The ultimate from Karthus takes out Xayah. No ult available in the top side. The stun CC chain with the cocoon means that Elise is going to pick up a double kill up there. Kills continue to get traded back and forth, but BAR continuously come out in the lead bit by bit.
We did just see Cody J totally whiff that flay, though.
And miss a hook, too, because he's on the other side of Applause, who tanks away the turret. Nice Eclipse, I believe it is. I'm going to double check real quick. It is Eclipse. I was right. Nice Eclipse, gets that armor just to make sure that the turret's not going to take her down. It is at that 10-minute mark, so some of that turret's damage has fallen off a little bit, and they're going to burn a bunch of stacks off this bottom lane turret. Don't think they can finish it, though.
Yeah, that's the thing about the turret plating that I really do like, is it does slow down the pace of the game a little bit. I think it's a very good compromise by Riot that they didn't want to hurt early game pushing champions too much by denying them that gold that they really survive off of. But then also, hold on, we've got an engage.
Oh, that's the best bait in the bottom lane. Make them think you're back and then re-engage. Leona's going to help kill Arcane Vixen once again. The Dark Passage may not be able to save, not feeling so woo. It does, as there is no continued engage, no ultimate from Ashe quite available yet. And that's the thing to keep in mind, is that Leona's ult is like 60 seconds at rank 1. This ult comes back so ridiculously fast, as Urgot takes a couple turret shots in the top lane, says, I don't mind, I'm the butcher of my enemies. Oh, and he misses his ultimate! Wait, this might mean that Elise has forced away Poppy.
Well, now she's forced away.
Throws the, what's the question mark ping on Elise? Okay. Alright, Experiment 66. Still won't save the turret, though.
He might be going down.
The turret's gonna slowly burn and take him the last shot. Oh, the shield! That was so nice. And Elise is back. Round 2. fight! And she's gonna re-engage and immediately walk away from the turret after the repel. In the meantime, though, the Infernal Drake picked up by the side of Paz's only bottom lane and jungler. Leona still wants in, trying to re-engage. Ashe ultimate is up, hasn't used it yet, not feeling so woo, walks away with no help. Oh, Paz is gonna be trying to be burned down.
Field
goal! Can't be able to get it. It's still going to be the victor, falling 2 kills over the side of BAR. Arcane Vixen, the only one left alive with enough health that might be able to do something in the bottom lane. Don't think it's gonna be enough. And Karthus says, you can't escape from me. I got your number. I got my ultimate. I'll take another free kill. 5, 1, and 2. The lineup from this Karthus at this point.
Yeah, this Karthus is going 6? To be.
Oh, she's gonna get the ultimate and tries to flash as well. Oh wait, the turret shot's gonna be enough. That is huge 700 shutdown cold.
That's 700 shutdown gold back to Arcane Vixen, so that's not really a worth trade. Karthus already in a strong position. Giving over that shutdown gold allows Xayah, who had been shut down previously, to have enough gold to get back into this game and be competitive. So not necessarily the best decision making right there at the end. Still a decent play, but maybe a decent play that should have been left by going back and recalling. Because didn't he get like 3 kills in that last fight or something dumb like that?
2 or 3. There's definitely a lot of members of Paz's only that went down. I think a total of 4 members dropped in that bottom side engage. They did get the Infernal Drake. 1 saving grace.
Yeah.
They're down 10,000 gold, but they've got that Infernal. That's all that matters in the game. This Extreme 626 drops the Ghost. Hold on. Wait, what?
Yeah, he's got Unsealed Spellbook.
Oh, I was very confused for a second there because I'm looking and his flash is already used and he doesn't have any items and I heard the Ghost. Okay, Unsealed Spellbook means that he's got multiple spells, of course. And Ghost, not going to be that effective. That's okay. Burn it through, trade out to another spell. That means they could have the potential of double Smite on the team, so keep that in mind as Cody J going to whip another hook onto Justify, able to walk away.
Mm-hmm. Now, the question really is who wins the team fight right now. Dive playing Victor, a notoriously powerful teamfight champion. Urgot's more of a split pusher who wants to be by himself. Poppy's a pretty good team fighter as well. However, Arcane Vixen is so far behind that she's not going to be a deciding factor in these fights. And you have an obscenely fed Karthus right now. So I'm going to give it to Red Team right now. BAR is definitely in the lead and has the advantage in team fights. Though both the pick potential and the team fight potential coming out of Blue Team is pretty impressive. So if they manage to turn it around in the mid game.
Oh, Ashe Arrow gonna find Victor. They can't quite get him out with that Dark Passage before he falls, and now Shelly gonna charge in onto the first tier turret in the mid lane, pick that up, make it a 3rd turret for Team BAR. Shelly charge onto the 2nd one. We'll see if they can finish it off as well. They've got 4 members here trying to burn it down, waiting for the flash forward from the Thresh. He gives his own life over, trades back for 1, and in the meantime, Karthus is able to pick up 1. It is a 3-for-1 trade in the favor of Paz's only. No, it's actually 3 for 2 in favor of BAR in the top lane. Elise Vayne just doing what she can to keep this Urgot from continuing to push into the 2nd tier turret.
However, I have to shout out Cody J on that play right there. That was pretty impressive. Elise picked up turret aggro for no reason, so Cody J just jumped on the opportunity, flash forward, instantly flays him back, keeps him out of turret range, and then chains the hook, denying the potential for the repel, and just solo kills the Elise right there, picking up 700 gold for himself. And then trading back over another kill with his ultimate over to the Xayah as well. So very good play, despite the fact that they are so far down and should have lost that 2nd tier turret.
All right, it is the 2nd Infernal Drake coming up on the map. Elise able to pick up that Scuttle Crab, make sure they have vision of the area. No team rushing towards it just yet, but being able to keep an eye on it is always good. Sejuani 0-4 this game. Not really having the effect they want. If the game drags out to that 30-minute mark, could be that frontline tank that the side of Paz's only really desperately needs to be able to survive some of these team fights. But at this point, still down 10,000 gold. Things are not looking good for the blue side.
Yeah, and certainly with how fast the games are ending in this season, it's definitely a potential for the snowball to continue rolling right over pauses only. But they do have a comeback potential, right? It said that they were going to patch something in that would help comebacks. Well, haven't seen or noticed evidence of this, but that's what I've been told. There's another Infernal Drake going down, this time to the side of BAR. They've got 2 Drakes, an Infernal, and an Ocean to their name, so that equalizes the scaling advantage that their opponents would have. Big Time Rush landing the hook.
Oh, he's got the Dark Passage as well to bring the Sejuani and Victor coming up from the rear as well. It's going to be the Karthus going down. All he needs is another poke. Are they going to let Karthus walk away? Okay, this might make sure that he can't escape. He's going to ult anyway just to get a little extra damage on his stats at the end of the game. Always feels really good. Double man snare in the bottom lane. Root from the Xayah, not going to be enough to save her life as the repel from Elise gets her to hop right over top of it. Beautiful move there. Also secures themselves another turret on that bottom side. The engage though from the jungle. Sejuani ultimate gonna find Elise, hold her in place for the moment. She goes into Spider Lane form, trying to use those to soak up some of that initial damage. Sejuani's still walking around the side. Cody J on the Thresh, but he's under 200 health. Needs to play this perfectly to be able to get out alive. As Dive tries to walk back forward, the last Spider gonna do a lot of damage. The shield isn't gonna save him. Even the Dark Passage not gonna
that was close.
Cody J tries to 1v1 the Ashe, recognizing that his time was at hand. Can't do it. 20 kills to 7. BAR so strongly in the lead.
Yeah, definitely a really powerful lead right now. The snowball just keeps getting bigger. Approach it. Oh, no, okay, I read that wrong. I was going to say approaching 20,000 gold. Wait, no, okay. I did read that wrong. That almost concerned me. I was going to say 20,000 gold at 19 minutes. That might be the biggest lead we've ever had, but it's only a little bit over 10,000. Getting close to 12 now. So the Scuttle Crab going to be picked up around the Baron Pit, which will be spawning in 20 seconds. That will be the next objective that BAR is going to want to look at. Hold on. Elise Vane may be caught.
The Poppy trying to walk away. Oh, the Ashe arrow not quite fast enough. Karthus says, "I'll pick up the kill before you can even get an assist." Though, of course, if it's the AD carry, you can be sure that they're just trying to steal those kills away. That's exactly what that Ashe was doing.
Yeah. I don't think that it would really matter at this point. Karthus is so fed at the moment. Hold on, we've got a Baron take going through.
Yeah, BAR, Boosted Animals Reborn. Going to be able to pick it up without too much difficulty. No one able to contest it, really. The Thresh going to be engaged upon by Leona with a nice ultimate. The root from the Xayah holds Karthus in place for a moment, and an ultimate from Victor. Going to bring everybody all together. Need some extra lasers down, but he's going to be giving his own life over. And Urgot can't even steal away the kill with his own ultimate. And that is Team Boosted Animals still massively in the lead, and just as you said, snowballing the game. It's at that 20-minute mark. They've got plenty of advantages. At this point, is there any mistake that they could make, or multiple mistakes that they could make, that would allow Pauses Only to get back into this game, or is it pretty much a foregone conclusion?
Absolutely. They could spill coffee on their keyboards all at the same time.
Genius idea. All right, so there's no doxing in this game. It's coffee spilling this time around.
Yeah, aside from just, hold on.
Yeah, they're fighting underneath the turret, so Experience 626 is going to get low. Thresh going to use that hook to kind of bring himself into the enemy team. Not exactly what you want to do. Karthus ultimate going to kill 2 people on the backside. The Victor is still the only one kind of hanging out here with Poppy, running back towards the fountain. Several members very, very low, but unable to get those kills. They're just going to have to walk back, heal up as they lose that middle inhibitor top side. Karthus has brought the wave in to start hitting onto that top tier turret, and that's going to be their next target. Dive taking a step forward, throwing out those lasers. Lisa Vane looking for an opportunity to jump in, but it's a 2v5 situation, not the fight that you want to take into even your own inhibitor, as they're now going to sit around their own team's Nexus turrets. One member ulted out. Thresh steps forward. Cody J trying to look for retribution. He is only going to get cocooned by Elise and dropped. That is a massive amount of damage. The second tier Nexus turret going to fall as well. Sejuani burned down slowly. The Baron minions are going to do way too much. Applause is able to finish it off before Urgot could even ultimate. It's a complete wipe. And the side of BAR walk through the enemy team base. It's a snowy map. It's a snowball. And it's game number 1.
Yeah, that was a very big snowball on the Snowdane map, like you were saying, Jake. And I can't see that have really gone any other way after that early game, especially with the Karthus, the intelligent use of the ultimates to pick up some early kills and then just snowball it right away from there. We're going to just wait for my client to load because my computer is tired. Concluding the game.
Hey, the 20,000 gold difference did happen indeed between these two teams, which I know that one of them was a full diamond team, the other not so much. They did agree, though. Paz has only said it's fine. We're happy to play into a team that's going to be a little bit better than us, as both teams did have to play in game number 1. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to play tonight. So we gave them the opportunity. It was a fun time. I hope that both sides had a bit of fun regardless of the end game stats, which we can now go through MVPs and honorable mentions, which I promise I will stay up as late as I need to get this updated on the Google Sheets document and the MooBot app. I promise that I will do that, guys. I know I've been slack. I've said that I was going to do it a couple different times, and it didn't work. Tigris, test indeed. Test away. Okay, Wraith, go ahead through honorable mentions and MVPs.
All right, so for MVPs, honorable mentions, and shout-outs, we're going to do the losing team really quick. Pauses only. I think I'm going to give honorable mention over to Dive. His positioning in a couple of fights, and especially a couple of the 1v1s that he had in the mid lane against Karthus. He went even on that, mostly because Demonius really played them well. But his positioning in fights, despite being behind, there were a couple, especially right there at the end after the Baron fight, he landed an ultimate, got 3 procs off onto 3 members, and then got a 4-man pull on his root, his W, the gravity well, pulled 4 members in, still in his ultimate, and then landed the combo on top of that. If they're not almost 20,000 gold behind at this point, that's a game ender right there. So well played, despite the fact he didn't have the gold or the items necessary to make the plays stick. So that's going to be your honorable mention, but as you might expect, MVP's going over to Cody J, big time rush on the Thresh. The really standout plays were all his on this one. There were a couple of times in the bot lane. There was good decision making you saw, so it wasn't just montage plays. There was some decision making down there where he elected to protect his ADC instead of going for blood. However, not afraid to go for blood, because there was a couple of times, aside from the double kill in the early game, there was that one play underneath the turret where Elise had taken turret aggro just for a second, flashes forward, flay into hook, and gets the solo kill and a 800 gold shutdown onto the Elise right there. The only death that Elise had that whole game was at the hands of Thresh. Well done right there. So that's your MVP. So MVPs, honorable mentions, and shout-outs. I want to give a shout-out real quick to Experiment 626. Played that top lane immaculately, despite not getting any kills, 9 assists, but really just controlled Elysia the whole game. And as you can see in the difference in CS in the top lane, granted, Urgot does win the matchup versus Poppy, but he did play it very well.
Captain, really quickly, Captain Rubber Duck, thank you for the host for 5 viewers. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you're new or old, but this is XLNC Shoutcasting. We shoutcast custom match games every Tuesday and Thursday. We got lots of variety of different games, team events, tournaments that are upcoming, lots of cool stuff. I also wanted to throw out Tigris. I don't know why I didn't do the notification, but thank you for the resub. Appreciate that. Didn't have to do it, but very, very nice of you. For those of you that are new, we're running through honorable mentions and MVPs right now of this game before we launch into game number 2. If you're interested in playing, let us know. We're happy to find a spot to be able to fill you in to play a game. Back to Wraith with the, I believe, MVP, which is all that's left.
Yeah. Apparently, I have support bias now.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, definitely support bias. That's what I've always been accused of. Anyway, no, that I did the shout out to experiment. I haven't given MVPs and honorable mentions quite yet.
Here I was writing experiment as the honorable mention and applause as the MVP because you were like, oh, you got support bias? Well, I'll just put applause as the MVP. Obviously, Leona Bay.
No, so I think I'm going to give Mike Oxmal on the Elise the honorable mention right there. His movement around the map was really instrumental in getting his other 2 lanes ahead. There's some shout out to the bot lane, of course, getting themselves ahead a little bit, but Mike moved around the map very well, put pressure down, and ended up picking up a bunch of kills for himself, especially with the objective control. He ended up smiting down almost all but one of the major objectives on the map. So good objective control from him and as well as his team. But Demonius is going to be taking the MVP slot this week.
Press R, win game, get MVP.
Yeah, Arthas over here. He did get a couple of free kills early game, but it's not just like he was playing just with the R key on the keyboard. He ended up winning a couple of 1v1s, which is pretty difficult to do as Karthus, or at least I suck at it. It might not be as difficult as I think it is, but I can't hit those little skittles of death. So yeah, Karthus getting that MVP, probably the most powerful and impactful member of the team. Though Applause and TWTV need a couple of shout outs because they did really well in their own way down bottom.
All right, guys, game number 2 coming up in just a moment. Team ACP for Fun versus Dumbledore's Army. Don't go anywhere. This is also going to be only the second game of a bunch tonight. So if you're interested in playing, let us know, and we'll keep things rocking and rolling. As Tahil's asking if his account Nerzulian shows up as online. I'm not seeing it, but I am classically